Hi, I'm Stephanie Arell, and today I'm going to talk to you about another question posed by a student. How do we ensure that we finish our projects? How does anybody finish a project? Actually, I'm pretty good at that because I can tolerate high levels of pain and uncertainty. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm actually not kidding because really finishing things takes some chutzpah. And I will actually extrapolate this to another workout analogy because I had to do a very long, very boring set this afternoon. And I really wanted to quit. And it's very helpful to me when there's other people in the gym watching because then I'll finish. But people were leaving, and so there was like nobody there, and I still had to keep going. It was painful, but I did it. What are the components that help us finish projects? I would say first is thinking about patience, another is determination, and another is hard work. You can find that anywhere on the internet. You can search up how do we finish a project, and you can find answers to that. What's intriguing to me though is the question of why don't people finish? And I think it's important to take a look at, for you, if you're interested in exploring how do you finish a project, is what keeps you from finishing a project? Are you not excited about the project? Are you being held back because you're afraid it's not good enough? Do you get anxiety around finishing? Do you lose your focus or attention because you're having so much high stress related to other things? These are questions that one should ask. I think what I see most often related to not finishing has to do with perfectionism. Some people call me a perfectionist. It's actually not true. I finish every project. I usually finish most things that I complete at about 80 to 90% of its production. And this is my logic. Most of the things that I produce in my field get edited and looked at by other people. So I rarely put in my perfect effort. I try to hit 80 to 90% with the understanding that someone's going to have an opinion, a critique, a change, and then I'll work to that higher percentage. I kind of take that lesson into most things that I do. I'm not going to go 100 unless I really have to go 100. And when I see people that try to go 100 all of the time, I see them not finish things. They put so much pressure on themselves to have things look perfect, be perfect, sound perfect, that they don't finish. So that's one thing to think about in terms of your own exploration about finishing. So let's go back to the three things I said: patience, determination, and hard work. The work doesn't always have to be hard, by the way, but it requires work. Finishing things requires work. I'm not a patient person. Now I'm going to teach you about patience. When I think about patience in this framework, I think about trusting yourself rather than waiting for something to happen. This is about trusting that if you put your effort in, if you're enjoying what you do, or even sometimes if you're not, but you're really addressing the task at hand, focused on completing the task, trusting your abilities, that the likelihood of finishing is going to increase. It may work out that this isn't the best thing you ever did, and maybe what you learn is that, oh, I'm not going in the right direction. But unless you finish a project and get it out there, you're not going to get that feedback. Then you'll be spinning your wheels for even longer. So take the risk, finish the thing, get it out there. If it ends up not being the right thing, change direction. Second, determination, willpower, grit. Determination is like grit, which I've talked about in a different video. It's just really putting your head down and saying, I'm going to finish this. And then setting up the timeline or the goals or the space or the time, the actual time that it's going to take to finish it. And saying, I'm going to do this. Again, I think that hooks right into self-trust and maybe integrity. Because if you set up the set of steps to do to get to a goal or finish a project, it's really important for your own self-worth to actually do it. So whether or not the thing ends up being the best thing you ever did, or adds some great value to your life, or ends up being your pathway to success, is sort of irrelevant. Because setting up tasks, completing them, finishing projects is going to add to your own sense of self-worth. Cultivating habits where you complete tasks can also help with self-worth. So I think it's something really to think about if you're bored at work or if you're bored in your school life, what skill you're actually developing by doing the work anyway. and finishing the projects anyway. And it really is a gift to self, in my opinion.
Now, hard work.
It's work, man. Work. Sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes I don't want to make the YouTube videos because I know the work that comes after in order to get you all to watch these is the work I really don't want to do, but I'm going to do it. It's doing those things that we may not find complete pleasure in, but they're things that if we want to finish projects, we have to engage in. And sometimes it's not the most pleasant thing in the world. One thing that I found in relationship to helping work feel lighter to me is to find the spots of joy within the work. So I hope you all will take that. Think about how to engage in habits that cultivate patience, determination, and hard work. But then also to reflect on what gets in the way and what do you need to address in order to liberate yourself from not finishing things.